Alright everybody, and welcome back to the Roundup. I don't know where our guest is tonight. If you're watching this on YouTube, I don't know where he is.
Can you see me now? Can you see me now?
What's happening, mate?
The bulging is back, mate. Back. Like the full Monty.
A special guest appearance. He's lost a bit of weight now. He's getting himself trim and he wants to come back on.
Paul Adams, Johnny Bailey, Josh Gardner, Mark, they can all do one. The main man is back now.
What's happening, mate?
All good, mate. All good. Obviously, you've only drafted me in because you'd a late call-off, mate. You were struggling, know what I mean?
Mate, I tell you what, see, since you've stopped, that's Dean all let us doing, and then Az has let us down a day, pretending he's not seen my text messages for about 9 hours. Then he just did that. It doesn't happen when it was just us before.
Show business, my man, innit? Show business.
I know, mate. I know
it's rock and roll. You've got your boy back. I have missed you, to be fair.
I know, mate. It's been too long, man.
I'm sure the people in the west of Scotland have never missed as well.
No, 100%. They would have 100%. But look, I know that you're even getting up your time of night when you're working, right? So we'll no hold you too long. So that what we do on this show is, right, we go through the results and then we talk about what's happened and we just give you your thoughts on it. We don't sit in the fence or anything like that. We just give you our own honest opinions.
Well, I'll sit in the fence, mate. But you get your statistics and your results right for a change.
Mate, I don't know, man. I do get it wrong every now and again.
no PG, mate. Doesn't get it wrong. Let's do it, my boy. Let's do it.
Right. We will start with third round of the Junior Cup. Beath 5, Mod 1. Cumbernauld 1, Glenvale 0. Darvel 1, Glencairn 0. Drum 2, Kello 1. Dundee Violet 0. West Park 0. 3-1 to West Park penalties. Gartcairn 2, Arthurlie 2, 3-2 to Arthurlie in penalties. Glenafton 3, Devonside 0, Hurlford 5, Maple 1, Meda 4, Renfrew 0, Borough 3, Dundee North End 1, Coburnie 4, Pumferson 2, Lugar 3, Cambuslang 2, Montrose Rosalie 3, Newmains 1, Muircut 1, Easterhouse 1, 3-1 to Easterhouse in penalties. Nielsen 4, Bathgate 4, 3-1 to Bathgate in penalties. Shotts 0, Benz 1, Tayport 0, Pollock 3, Troon 1, Glasgow United 1, 4-2 to Troon in penalties, Bella leaving 4, Ardere 1. Right, Dak, we will start with yourselves. A good one away to Tayport yesterday. These are in a good bit of form, to be fair, than now.
Aye, mate, we're doing well. Don't get me wrong, PG. It's been cup game after cup game, We've won our last 6, but for 5 of them we've been in cup games. But yesterday was good, mate. I've never been up to Tayport before, so it was another one ticked off the list. So it was a good setup up there. Decent day in that as well. Boys went up there, done a right professional job, mate. We scored early. Probably we were comfortable, mate. To be honest, we were quite comfortable. It didn't cause us too many problems. And then we've just kind of cruised it. The second half we've scored again early in the second half, and it's just kind of went a wee bit flat after that, and we've made quite a few changes in that. But the boys were excellent, and it was a good win, 3-0, clean sheet into the next round. Because Tayport had been going well up there. They'd won the last 5 or 6 in the bounce as well. So we knew it was going to be a tough test, but a good professional job that the boys done yesterday.
I know Tayport maybe aren't quite what they were a few years back, where they were one of the powerhouses. But it's like you say, that's 5 wins out of 6. I know you've found a similar camp for me as Darvel now, where you're getting a lot of wins behind you, but there is so many cups. I mean, I honestly feel like that's been about 6 or 7 weeks worth of cup games in a row. It's brutal.
And mate, see, the thing is, because we've been winning these games in the cup, they just keep coming and all. Do you know what I mean? So we've got Bells Hill in the cup in a few weeks, and then we've got the next round of the Scottish Cup. But listen, I like it. It's a good distraction for the boys. There's nothing better than cup football. I still love the Scottish Junior Cup. It's maybe it's quite as big as what some people have kind of fell out with. But for me, mate, I still love it, mate. It's still like that. Yesterday just epitomised what it was all about on a way day to Tayport, mate, and it was enjoyable. But no, it's a lot of cup games. We've only played 1 league game of late, basically, Hurlford, which we won. So we've not had too many league games, but we're back to league action on Saturday, a tough one against the Drum. But the run of form's been good. 6 wins in the Browns, and the boys are doing really well. Good young group, mate, and they're kicking on a wee bit now.
We'll touch on it. We'll talk about it a wee bit the now then. Do you know what? We won't. I'm lying. We'll talk about it when we start talking about league action, about the drum game. I'll move us on. A result that stood out for me, I don't know what type of team Muirkirk put out. Muirkirk obviously flying in the league, just having an unbelievable season. Losing to Easterhouse. Easterhouse, obviously, it's a draw and goes to penalties. I think Easterhouse have had a right good season themselves. Like I said, I don't know if Muirkirk have maybe played a couple of changes into the team because the league's the main focus, because the likelihood of them winning the Junior Cup is very low. So, but I think that's a very impressive result for Easterhouse yesterday.
Yeah, it's a brilliant result. You see it a lot, PG. I don't even think. Be honest with you, because I've kind of been asked last minute to do this. I've not done as much of my homework I'd normally do on it, but I don't think your cup have probably not got the biggest of squads anyway. So they've probably went with quite a consistent team. But what a result that is for Easterhouse, and you see it a lot in the Scottish Cup. Results popping up that maybe people see it as a shock. I think you're 100% right. I think Muir Cup have been different class in the league campaign, and they're sitting in a really good, strong position. And you're right, that'll be their main focus. But they'll be disappointed to be at the cup as well, because you want to always see as far as you go, and you never quite know. You can the luck of the draw, get to the latter stages of the competition. But great result for Easterhouse, and obviously doing good work there. And the boys will be in a right high after that, because they'll see that as a wee bit of a shock. So well done to them.
I think that it's probably a wee confidence boost as well. Even though they are doing really well in the fourth division, that's a tight league, and you want to get as much or as many wins behind you as you can.
See now, mate, because it goes right into penalties rather than a replay and all that.
Aye.
There's more chances of shocks, because see if you can just have a right good 90 minutes and draw a game, or you get a late equaliser or whatever and take it to penalties, then it's a lottery. But aye, to hold their nerve and win on penalties, mate, it's always a nice way to do it. I know it's not nice for the nerves, but seeing the dressing room after it, man, it's always good winning a penalty shooting.
The Meda beating Renfrew 4-0. Touched on them the other week. They lost 1-0 to Glencairn, but for what I heard, they gave a really good account of themselves. And I wonder if that's them starting to turn a corner, because Renfrew are having a very, very good season. That's a very convincing one. I think we're 4-0 up at half time as well.
I think that Meda deserve a lot of credit, right? I think Ben deserves a lot of credit, the manager. He obviously seems to be getting a tune at them, and obviously the guys there believe in their manager and sticking with him, so they deserve loads of credit there. They believe in what Ben's trying to achieve there, and obviously no, it will take a wee bit of time, but that's a great result for Meda. It really is a brilliant result. I think Meda will be a wee bit like ourselves. They've been getting good results in the cup, and they've not really had many league fixtures as well, because they're in the senior Scottish still as well. So I think for them, they'll be wanting to try and put a few wins together in the league. But cup competitions, they seem to be doing well in the cup competitions, and it's always a welcome distraction for league duties, I've said earlier.
I think so. Lugar beating Cambuslang 3-2. Lugar are having a pretty solid season after coming back at the fourth division into the third. Cambuslang get relegated last year, and I think that they might be in danger of getting relegated again. But Lugar have got to take a bit of confidence for the fact that they're able to go and put 3 by Cambuslang and get themselves into the next round.
Aye, Lugar, good result for Lugar. And the other last season or so, man, you see a wee change in Lugar. Not I mean, they seem to be assembling a good squad there. Cambuslang have a good firepower. They scored goals as well. Big boy Godson and that is playing for them as well. And I don't think they'll get relegated, mate. I think Paul's got enough about them, and they've got enough about that team. They'll not be getting relegated, but they'll be disappointed to be at the cup competition, especially some people would have fancied them because they were playing Lugar. But Lugar, hats after them. Great result for Lugar.
Nielsen 4, Bathgate 4. Bathgate eventually winning on penalties. Nielsen were 4-0 down at one point. I think they're having a cracking season, and I think they're 6 points off the top of the table. They're now behind Muirkirk with a game in hand. That's a sorry, obviously not being able to win in penalties, like you said. With that, when it goes to penalties, it is a lottery and stuff. But again, they've got to take a bit of confidence. In fact, you're 4-0 down, obviously a shocking start for them, and then they show a bit of quality and go and score 4 goals to get themselves right back into it.
Mate, what a cup tie that sounds, doesn't it?
I know.
Especially as you say, 4-0 down, you think you're dead and buried. Know what I mean? There's probably no even the biggest Neilson fans would have probably seen them getting back into the game. So fair play to whatever the gaffer's done at half time or whatever he said to them to come out and get back into the game and take it to penalties. Deserve loads of credit for that. And they'll be a bit disappointed they've not went on to win it after a cracking comeback like that. But they're doing that sounds like some game, mate. Typical Scottish Cup tie, class, you know what I mean? Love that. And what was it? I seen like Nielsen, is that even 125 years or something, an anniversary or something?
Is it? Oh, I've never even noticed.
Mate, I'm sure that game they were marking it is the 125th anniversary of them. So
Aye, it is, aye.
125 years, mate, of history. Good club, Nielsen, too, but they'll be disappointed because, as you say, PG, they're going well in the league. And they're doing well there, so to boot the cup be disappointing, but the positives on, man, how they've come back into that game. Gaffer will be raging that they've been 4-0 down, but see the character, the dressing room to come back, get it to 4 each.
You ever had a game where you've been like taking an absolute down and come back and win, and then a game that sticks out in your mind?
No, not really, but I mean, well, in fact, I remember when we actually played Nielsen a few seasons ago when I was at Ashfield, and I think Nielsen went 2-0 up, man, and we came back and won 3-2, and it was in the Scottish Junior Cup, and it was at Saracen Park, mate, and I remember it because I remember we Dean Leverage scoring a cracker, I think, to win it, and it was a good day, especially to come back, and because it was a Scottish Cup and that, but that's just one that sticks in my head now, mate. It was good. What about you?
It's funny, mine is at Saracen Park as well.
Oh, is that one you said about you scoring a hat-trick or something?
No. We were 4-0 down with 22 minutes to go. I scored and then got whipped right off and we won 6-4.
Says it all, doesn't it?
Is, mate, aye.
Great management.
Take me off and we'll go and win.
Great management.
Let's see. Darvel beating Glencairn 1-0.
Yeah.
That's a good result for them. Sitting in -2 points in the league, and I think because of that, they're in a real position in the league where they might, even if they have a decent run, they might struggle to keep themselves up because of how poor the start's been. And obviously, we know Mick's a good manager, but Glencairn lost their first league game last week, 2 in the bounce now. I know it's not a terrible result losing 1-0 to Darvel away from home, but that's one that could maybe be a big result for Darvel.
Aye. Getting a win, obviously, is big for them, and obviously they won the competition last year, so they want to do all they can to try and keep a hold of the trophy. Glencairn, that'd be a tough game, you know what I mean? Because as you say, they're going really well in the league. Probably up there's one of the favourites you would kind of put them to get promoted back up to the top league. So probably a close affair, but for Darvel to come out and tap them, same with Darvel as well. They've not really had a run of league games, and it's been quite a lot of cup action for them. So I think they play Arthur in the next round. I think that's a rerun of the cup final for last year, mate. So that'll be a ding dong, mate, because obviously that was the final at Broadwood last season, and that's the next round of the competition.
Well, touching on Arthurlie, 2 each with Gartcairn, beating them in penalties. I think that's a really good result. Gartcairn have been a bit of a purple patch recently after having a really slow start to the season. They've started to pick up some important points in the league, whilst teams like yourselves and all that have been on cup duty. But that's a really solid result for Arthurlie.
Brilliant result, 2-0 doing it all, PG. So to come back and show the character, and then he won it in penalties is brilliant for Arthurlie. And Colin seems to have them gone right well in cup competitions and big performances, obviously getting to the final last year and then putting out Gartcairn. A lot of people will see that maybe as a slight shock, but Arthurlie are a big club, mate.
Nice.
And obviously they were in the Premier League last season, mate. So, but brilliant for them. I seen some videos and all, them celebrating and that, and obviously winning it in penalties. I seen seen them dancing about, man, in the dressing room. It's always
some feeling.
even though it's Southland, it's one of your rivals and that, mate. See when you just see, because that feeling's the best, and it's
Aye.
celebrating with the boys. And don't get me wrong, man, I seen like big Mick McNeil and that, they were on nearly hitting their head off that porta cabin roof, man. Up in Gartcairn. He's nearly through the roof, man. But no, really well done to them. And Gartcairn will be disappointed with that, because that's probably a competition that they might have looked at before the start of the season. A realistic chance of going to win that. So they'll be disappointed, especially when they were 2-0 up. But as you say, they've picked up in the league and got themselves right up the league table. But see the quality, man, that Gartcairn team have got, man.
There's bags of quality.
On their day, mate. They've got top players, mate, honestly.
I'll just quickly brush here the last two fixtures I was going to talk about. The Borough beating Dundee North End. Dundee North End, who sitting third in the league now, but scored like 46 goals in 8 or 9 games, because they that I think it's like a 25-0 win, and then they've had a couple of good results. So I was quite interested in that one. The Borough showing they've got a bit too much quality for them. But final one for me, which is a wee dress rehearsal for what I think will be a massive game in the Premier League, is the Bens beating Shotts 1-0. I wonder if that's a wee psychological boost they'll get for winning that game when they go in to play each other in the league.
I think the Bens has been a wee bit up and down, haven't they? With some of the results, they've had some disappointment, but then they've had some right. That's a right good one for the Bens yesterday, because they went down to 10 men. I think their goalie gets sent off. So they've won the game with 10 men. And see, John, he always does well in the cup competitions, and always Shots. They always do well and capable of big results in that. And obviously they've had a good wee bit of run of form themselves, Shots, winning down at Glenafton and stuff like that. But great result for Bens, and the biggest thing for the Winces will be the clean sheet and that as well. Build on that, clean sheet through to the next round. Look forward to the next round of the draw. But just that win, mate, see the confidence it gives in the dressing room, man. One can just kickstart you again, and they'll be delighted with that. So that was a really good result for the Bens.
We'll move on to the semi-final of the Strathclyde Demolition Cup. Eglinton 0, St Cadocs 3, Maryhill 1, 4-2. Eglinton have had a right upturn in their results recently. I think they had a really poor start to the season, but recently they've been doing really well. I mean, they even pushed Bo'ness to the 95th minute last week in the Scottish Cup.
Yeah.
I think that they've been doing really well. I'm no surprised with the result. St Cadocs 3-0. You'd expect St Cadocs to go and win that, but I think that Eglinton can take a lot of confidence for the fact that they've been able to get to that semi-final and they're competing at a reasonable level against good sides.
No, I think you're bang on, mate. I think Eglinton will have their heat held high. They've obviously given them a good account or so, I think it was 3-0 in the first half, and I think so they've obviously made it a lot more difficult for them in the second half. But St Cadocs have got loads of quality, and the players that they've got there, it was always going to be a tough ask for Eglinton. But as you say, see, they could probably replicate the form that they've shown in these cup ties to probably the league. They would probably be up a wee bit further in the league. But a club that's trying to do things right and build well, and I can only see Eglinton going from strength to strength, mate. But for St Cadocs, I'd agree with you, probably the favourites in that competition before I was even being kicked. No surprise they're in the final. And listen, fourth, man, it's a massive day for them, who are going to go, and you just never know in cup competitions, cup football, and the romance of the cup. But it's a great opportunity for fourth as well. But for St Cadocs, I definitely do see them as the favourites. But that will suit fourth down to a T. And what an achievement for them. What an achievement for them.
I think that I know Maryhill, they're not having a great time in the league. I think they've only won 2 out of 9, only lost 2, drawn 5. But they're really struggling. The only wins they're picking up have been in the cup. They drew with fourth 2 each earlier in the season. But I thought that Maryhill were going to go and get themselves a win. And I know I seen Mark's interview after the game. Obviously bitterly disappointed. You could see it in his face. But like you said, that's a great achievement for fourth, and there isn't any pressure on them getting into the final. Everybody expects St Cadocs to win, so they have that that kind of pressure-free game where they can just go out and just play.
I know, I think you're bang on. I watched the interview with Mark Cano, and you've been there, haven't you? You've been there
Aye.
before, and that mean how disappointing it is and hard. And listen, I don't care what manager it is or coaching staff it is in the west of Scotland, mate. I feel for guys when they feel that low after a game, because I've been there myself, mate. And you've been there probably, PG, and all. Do you know what I mean? And just sometimes people don't realise how much it can hurt. Not meaning the disappointment, and a lot of time for that as well. So it's gutted for him, but at the same time, I'm a neutral and also amazing for fourth. What an achievement for them! And to be fair, they've got themselves going in now fourth, and then
Aye.
see that an offer for them to have a cup final to look forward to. You're bang on. It's just going to be a day where there's not as much pressure on them. All the pressure's going to be on St Cadocs, but it's a great day out for them. It's a great day for the players, the management, all the families. They're all going to go to that, aren't they? They're going to make a day for the cup final, and I love that. I love that. Fourth in a cup final.
I know, I can't remember the last time I heard that.
I think they deserve a massive amount of credit, and people can talk down like a wee bit about the competition, saying there's no many teams in it and stuff like that. But you still need to win games of football, a few games of football to get to the final, and they've done that. So hats off to fourth. And listen, probably a lot of neutrals would love to see fourth one win it, just for that romance and just to see a wee bit of a giant killing. But for me, St Cadocs will be strong favourites on the day, and they've got right quality players in that team. But brilliant for them. Gutted for Martin that made it whole, but a massive congratulations to Fourth Wanderers.
I agree. We'll move on to league action. Only the one game in the Premier League, and that was Clydebank 1, Cumnock 0. The goal to win it is a goal fit to win any game. Nicky Lowe with an absolute screamer, and to be fair, him and Nicky Little, there must be something in the Inverclyde water with the Nickies, with the amount of good goals they score. But that's another win for Clydebank. Technically 14 wins out of 14 this season.
Yeah.
On the flip side, Cumnock, they're putting themselves in a position where they're with what they've got and the management team they have, they really should be doing better. But they're putting themselves in a position where a couple more defeats and they are right in trouble for getting themselves in that relegation dogfight.
I think they've got too much quality to get in the relegation dogfight. We played them, obviously the game got abandoned due to the ill health of a fan, but and I rate them, and I think they've got good players and a brilliant management team, and I think that I can't see that. I can't see them being involved in that relegation scrap personally, because they pop the ball about well. But Clydebank have been flying, mate. Absolutely flying. Nicky Lowe doesn't score a bad goal, does he, really?
Nah, he doesn't know how to.
Everyone's an absolute cracker. And listen, you can't praise them enough for the work that they're doing. Not mean they've no lost a game. They're flying in all competitions. When they've not played well, they're still winning games. They're into good habits. They're keeping clean sheets. So listen, they deserve all the credit they're getting. They're sitting in a great position already in the league, top of the league with maximum points. And I know personally how hard this league is in every game. So for them to be unbeaten, they deserve massive amount of credit. They've added well. They've got a right good squad, and listen, they'll have tough times. They'll have probably tough runs of form in that. But the main thing is they seem to be grinding ones out as well and playing well. They seem to have a good mix this season, a wee bit different to last season in that with them. So fair play to them. You can't speak any highly enough of them for the work that they've done in the league this season.
So you raised it when we were talking about the cup games. Yesterday the Drum beat Kello 2-1, I think. I've not spoke to anybody for the Drum, but for what I believe is they've made a few changes. Kello obviously done very well to push them so close. You have them next Saturday. It's a lot of right good games next week. You've got yourselves the Drum, who are looking at a wee outside bet for the league if you can put a good run together. Then you've got Darvel and Hurlford, a relegation fight. Glenafton and Shotts, a relegation fight. St Cadocs and Beath both looking to pick up some points. The same with Borough and Cumnock. And then you've got Gartcairn and Largs as well. I think that'll be an absolutely cracking game.
Mhm.
Next week's one, I think that's one of the best weeks I've seen in a long time for how competitive all the games are and how important that is to the league in the Premier League.
See, every week when I've looked at fixtures, mate, you could probably pick 3 or 4 games a week now in the Premier League where you think, well, that's a good one, and then you look at the list and go, that's another cracker. So, your game with the Drums, a big game. It's a home game. Drum are going really, really well, sitting in a great position. Hope and JB and that are doing brilliant work there. And they've assembled a right good team. So it's going to be a right hard game for us. But mate, we'll just take it one game at a time, innit? We just need to keep going one game at a time. It's the old cliche, innit? We'll not get too ahead of ourselves, and we've still got a lot of things that we can get better at. But the other games as well. There's games down at the bottom where teams need points, not that wee 6-pointers already, and games at the top. So, no, it's exciting stuff, mate. And in all the leagues, man, it seems to be right big fixtures every week, and that's why I love the West of Scotland, mate.
It's going to be very interesting next week. Moving on to the first division, Rob Roy 2, Thornywood 2, Vale of Clyde 0, the Roch 3. The Roch, I appreciate Arthurlie have got 2 games in hand, same way Rutherglen, but the
Yeah.
Roch have just put themselves top of the league. After what looked like a wee bit of a ropey start, they're absolutely flying just now. They're picking up really good points. 3 points clear, even though they are 2 games in hand. But a wee slip up here and there, and I mean, they're in a tremendous position.
Great run of form. Candy are just cruising along nicely now. I think when they're getting right good results and they've got a good squad there, and going top of the league's brilliant for them, and see the positivity is coming out of the Candy now. They're sitting top of the league and the fans are right behind it, and Kendall's getting a right tune out the boys, and the boys are buzzing. They're winning like the Glasgow Derby against Petershill and stuff like that. So confidence is high down at the Rock. And I think that I fancy the Rock. They'll know probably want me saying it, but I fancy them to get promoted this year. I think they've got enough about them definitely to get promoted. I think it'll be tough to win the league. I think that, but with the start they've had, why can they know? And it's always good to see them do well, because it's obviously a club I played for quite a few years, and still got a lot of people I know for down there. And I always like to see them do well. So Rock are flying. So for them to go top of the league, it's always nicer to be there rather than have to play the games in Hon. And then the other game, did you see Jordan Perry's free kick?
No, I've not seen it.
Brilliant, mate.
Good,
For Kirky Rob Roy, he scored an equaliser against Thornywood, but it's brilliant, mate. It's a pure junior shooter. He's got about to hit the free kick, and somebody hits like some. You can hear the fan pure clearly shouting, "Hey, make sure you hit the corner or something, or make sure you score or something." And he just sticks it right in the tap bin, mate. It's brilliant, man. So he's got that in the locker. But for that was a game for Rob Roy. For the two of them, obviously new management team in at Thornywood, didn't there?
Aye. What happened with Gorms? I hadn't heard anything. All right, I'll speak to you later about it then. But Adam Coatley coming in, I forgot to mention it. Adam Coatley coming in. Interesting one because the two of them were mates as well, for what I believe. So you can fill me in once we're
I
done
don't know, mate. I don't know.
Mate, mate, this is something I would say if you've stopped being able to do this, is that I find out a lot less now than I used to find it because
Mate, see the West of
your wee eyes
Scotland. See the West of Scotland, mate. It's a heavy. You just chat all the time, mate, and it's just like a soap opera, mate. It's mad, mate. The only reason I know is because I work with. The only reason I know a wee bit behind it is because I work with one of the Thornywood coaches that left with Gorms, don't I?
Only reason I know about it is because I'm a right nosy bastard and I find everything in it.
Oh, mate, he couldn't wait to tell me because he knows I could have thrown it up in the show, you know what I mean? But I'm not
you're not going, you're not that type of guy.
No, but new management team in there, and they've got after a draw, and sounded a right good game as well. But Candy are sitting top of the league, and
I think the Rock would be a brilliant addition to the Premier League. I genuinely
think fans,
Aye.
big crowds. Can we play them a pre-season friendly, mate, and there was a big crowd at a pre-season friendly for a friendly. It was brilliant.
I think it'd be brilliant. I mean, because obviously a couple of years ago we went down there and we did the video and stuff. The good old days. Now I'm going to
I
start greeting.
always get a soft spot for the candy, mate. But see what's thing with me with the candy. I never ever get invited back to these
Mate,
legends.
absolute donkey McStays can down to the Motti.
Mate, there's boys that not even played 10 games for the Rock, mate, and getting
I
called
know,
up for
mate.
that legend thing. I was there for years and getting into that team of the decade. Or even though I was on the bench and
But
Starkey was
still,
the
mate, in the
goalie.
squad of the decade.
No, but to be fair, Candy had good goalies because they had Heafy and on, and then Starkey. So to be fair, mate, I'm probably third or fourth in command when it comes to them. But not even invited, mate. No, I mean I was there for.
McStay.
That's just because
Getting
he played
pictures with
senior,
Scott Brown and all that.
mate. Honestly, mate, there were some boys in my team that should definitely be in that squad, mate. The only one's Big K Dog, Big McManus, and he deserves to be. But see Ryan McStay, unbelievable.
I know, scary
He's
man.
telling me he's a Candy legend when I worked with him and that, mate, and he's played about 7 games and took a fortune off them.
I took a fortune. We'll not get it. I don't want
I
to waste
know,
my
mate.
time talking about him.
I know, we eyes I can't keep doing.
Right, we'll move on to the second division. Caley Locos 4, the Ants 2, Lanark 1, Yoker 0. The Ants, obviously, I've got a lot of time for the Ants, just like you do with the Rock.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed yesterday because I know that Johnny's had a really hard time getting in there, and I thought he had a really solid start. And I know that they're not getting battered off Endy, so they're very competitive. But they were up yesterday, I think twice they were up, or maybe they were 2-0 up at one point. Cadocs have done great to get it back, and then the two late goals obviously really takes the steam out of the Ants and kills it late on. But they're in a position that they really need to start picking up points. I'm looking at the table right now. They're sitting in the relegation zone, 3 points clear of fourth. And fourth, we touched on earlier, are starting to pick up some good results. Bonneton are starting to pick up some results. Bells Hill are starting to pick up some results. And the Ants have played more games than them. So I know it's very early on. There's still basically two-thirds of the season left. But it's no great to be at this stage 11 games in and you're in the relegation zone, played more games and conceded more goals than everybody about you.
It's, listen, all the leagues are competitive, mate. And one thing that they've shown there, because when we first got the job, they picked up a good few
I did
results.
really well.
That and also that just needs a wee bit of turn of luck, And seeing that he's just signed Mark McKillop back and
I've
off
seen
for
that.
the
The
Rock
candy, aye.
well, so they're going to still add as the season goes on, and I think they've got a young group at the Ants as well, so I think that you will get that. Unfortunately, might get that wee bit of inconsistency at times, but I certainly do think that they've got enough about them to not get relegated. So just need to see how is they'll not be happy with the form that they've been on, and they'll admit that themselves. But they've definitely got enough about them. They've got a good manager in that in place that they can put results together. They've shown that previously that they can put results together and get out of that. But that was a big one for Caley Locos because they had a
Aye.
couple of tougher ones in the cups and all. They had tough draws. They get Largs in the cup, Clydebank in the cup, and that, and to a heavy defeat after I think it was Whitlets, wasn't it?
Aye, bastard,
So
aye.
that's a good one for them. And they're the same as well. We've got a young management team in place. It's their first kind of managerial role, and I always want to see these guys do well. I love seeing young managers and guys a bit different, no getting a shot at a job. Do you know what I mean? And I always want to see them doing well. I'm not one of these guys that want to see people fail. You know what I mean? I want the boys to go and smash it, especially when they're young and up and coming. But so some big results at the weekend.
Lanark beating Yoker 1-0. Yoker, myself and Johnny spoke about this on the show. Yoker are one of the teams who they kind of fly under the radar. They're in a position where they're obviously quite close to the. You look at the second division, right? So I'd say the bottom 8 teams, there's only 3 points between 8th and 14th in the relegation zone. So that could swing in a week.
Mm-hmm.
But then you've got on the flip side, the top 7 teams, every one of them's in a position where I'd maybe rule Caley Locos out a wee bit, but you're looking at, say, the top 6 on a position to get promoted as well. That's got to be one of the most competitive leagues at both ends of the table. Lanark getting that win yesterday puts them back into 4th place, only a point off the promotion spots. It's a really important win for them.
Totally, mate. And this is kind of mind at the start when the divisions were all a bit mismatched and all that. This is exactly what we wanted, wasn't it? It's all like anybody's got a chance. So many teams have got chances of promotion. If they put runs together, they can get themselves right in the hunt here. There's no many teams gone running away with leagues. There's no very many teams way at the bottom of the league, a mile adrift to all the rest of the teams. So it makes every week really competitive, and they're good leagues. And listen, mate, we played Greenock a few weeks ago in the cup, mate, and they were excellent, mate. So
I heard they were quite good.
Mate, they were excellent. Really impressed me on the day how well they played. And there's good teams in these leagues, PG. There's good teams in this league, and it's very difficult, man, to go and win games every single week if you can put a wee run of form together. And Darryl's in there done a great job at Lanark. Young guy, young manager, came for amateur, great amateur pedigree, and he's went in there and he's done really, really well. And I think that he'll take them from strength to strength. I think Lanark will be a team pushing to get promoted this year, definitely.
Definitely. 3rd division, Perthshire 2, Girvan 1, Greenock 6, Threave 0, Irvine Vicks 0, Dorai 2. Greenock yesterday with 100% my result of the weekend. Threave, who have praised a lot on the show, they've been absolutely flying, doing so well, beating Berwick 3-0 last week. And then Greenock, I didn't expect Greenock to win, but there would have been no way I'd have seen Greenock taking 6 off of Threave. And that's no disrespectful to Greenock. I mean that in the sense that Threave have been doing so well. Lemmy's doing such a good job at Greenock. That's them moved back into the promotion spots. They're only 4 points off of the Thorn at the top of the table and only 2 points off of Perthshire, who obviously won again yesterday. I think that's a really, really impressive result for them.
Aye, it's a brilliant result, because watched that one that you and Johnny done last week, and you were speaking highly of form, and all commentators curse into it.
Aye, I know.
Basically bumming them up, and then they went, and that's a slow one, because it's a doing. But the thing is, they'll just maybe just need to draw a line under it, and hope it's just a wee one-off blip. But brilliant for Greenock, man, brilliant. And I kind of watched their highlights against Darvo. They played Darvo the week before because we were due to play Darvo, so I watched their game back just to watch a wee bit of Darvo, and I was impressed with a lot of stuff they've done. Flemmy, an old teammate in mine as well, and he's a right good boy, and good to see that, because he's a Greenock boy, isn't he? And all, and he's doing good work there. And what a result that is! I agree with you, mate. That's right up there as one of the results of the weekend for me, mate. Because Threave have shown in the cups, they've put out some teams in the Premier. Not me.
I know they've got Stranraer and the big Scottish next week as well. I think a big thing you'll notice, Greenock have conceded 9 and 9, scored 24 and 9, which is very impressive. But see, having Slick, and I know Slick's 72-year-old now, Slick still scores a lot of goals. I think he got 2 yesterday. I think getting him back is a major coup for them, and I think that he will score 15 goals at least by the end of the season for them.
Brilliant fit. He's just a perfect fit for the minute, and he knows all the boys, he knows Flemmy and all that, and he's doing that neck of the woods as well. So sometimes when you just go to a club, it just fits and it just works, and I think that's what it will be with Slick. And see Slick still to be doing the business and scoring the goals, and he looks after himself, mate. He deserves loads of credit for that, because obviously he's in his 40s now, isn't he?
41, I think, isn't he?
Still scoring goals, still fit, man.
Great condition, really good condition.
I know, I mind the elbow. I mind enough for a header with me years ago and stuck an elbow in me, and I bounced up I jumped up as if I was going to have a go, forgetting it was Slick, and I seen it was Slick, and I said, "Aye, all right, mate, cheers, Slick."
That's a good elbow. That was a right good elbow.
Aye, man, I was like that, man. I must have got a heat note here, didn't even know what I was going to do. I was ended up getting little.
Perthshire beating Girvan 2-1. I've been really impressed with Persia this season in terms of their results. They've bounced back really well for coming down last year. They had a hard year. Um, we've spoken about it before in previous seasons with the old man knowing exactly. There's no many that have been about as long as him and know the level that he does. They're having a really good season. I think that Girvan, even though they are in the relegation zone now, I think Girvan are going to be building as the season gets on and being better. So I think it's a good win for Persia and it's another good 3 points.
It's a great win. It's a great win for them. And I know a lot of the boys that play for the Shire, and they're all good players, mate. Good boys. Just sometimes I think you might get a wee AWOL at them, not
Uh,
me. But see, when they turn up and they're on it and at it, they're good players, mate. And Old Man's always, he doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion, for what the job he does at the Shire, because he basically does that. Mostly, I think that down there himself, and year on year try to get players and all that as well. And brilliant, mate. And I think that if he can keep all the players there and no injuries and they're all fit and they're all available, then they'll do well. They've got me Jack Crumlish that played for me and that
uh,
great boy, good player and stuff like that. And it's all boys for kind of the local areas that all know each other and all that and all. So they'll have a good camaraderie about them too. So the Shire will do all right, but then they might, you just don't want them thrown in one. Do you know what I mean?
aye,
That's the thing. But good players there, really, really good players. And I agree with you on Girvan because Dino's a manager, isn't he?
aye,
Dino's brilliant. Know what I mean? Really, really like Dino. And once he gets a bit of time on it, to stamp he's all his ideas on it and stuff like that. Man, he'll get Girvan, man, really motoring at some point. I've got no thingies about that happening. Know what I mean? That's just when that turns for him there. Do you know what I mean?
I
Because he's
agree.
that good a coach and he's a good guy and also
Um, the other result, Irvin Vic's 0, Doride 2. I'll start with Irvin Vic's 1 out of 10. Based on current form, I'm struggling to see them being able to stay up. They've obviously really tough season. But Dorai, we spoke in the season previews a couple of seasons ago, and
yeah.
we both had Dorai to start trying to get promoted and stuff. And I think we're starting to see a bit of that coming together. And they've got a very young squad. I mean, you've got the Catlow brothers, you've got quality in there, and I think that's them starting to come through now that they're maybe, I'm not sure what age they're, but they're now maybe getting into their mid-20s or getting close to that level, like Tanashi and stuff like that. You're finally starting to see the quality that they've got coming through. And I know Chris and I know Graham, their management team, will be really happy with how it's going. And I think that, I mean, they're sitting joint 17 points joint with Greenock in third place, played a game more, but they've got form on their side just now as well, and they're just picking up one after one after one, and they're putting themselves in a right good position to get promoted.
I think that Chris is doing really good stuff here, and I think what he's doing is he's got a squad and he's they're all he's kept them and
Mm.
now it's them getting into like the second season, for some of them being even in our season, third season there. So they know what the level's all about. They all know what each other's all about. So they've got that quality there. So I think that's a big thing for them. And I think that's what they're building. They're starting to build a strong team in the last couple of years, a much stronger team. They've had some great cup results as well. And as you say, they're going well in the league. And that'll be one of their big main focus this year is to have a good season in the league and aim for one of the promotion places.
Aye, because today you look at it, we touched on Girvan and Irvin Vic, sorry, and that kind of bought them a couple of spots. I think, like I said, Girvan they'll push on and maybe draw Glasgow Uni into it. Glenvale might get drawn, and Vale even obviously beating Ardeer 4-1 in the cup yesterday, which is a really good result for them as Ardeer are flying in the league. Then you've got Wishaw. That's probably why Azza's no been able to make it tonight. He's probably like looking under the cushions and that for some points to see if they can get themselves up the league, and he thinks it's too important to come on this show. I'm only kidding, Azza. But it's going to be for Irvin Vicks and Wishaw. It's going to be really tough at the top end of the table. I think it's the Thorns to lose, even though they're only 2 points clear at the Persia. I think it's theirs to lose, and I know they got battered after Talbot in a friendly yesterday. But even like losing 3-1 to Broxburn, who are Broxburn fifth or something in the Lowland League, even that for me shows the quality they've got, and they're really pushing on.
I think the form are showing that they fully deserve to be where they are in the league, and even beating the Bens and that in the cup as well. They beat the Bens 1-0. So I think that they'll be the team to beat or the team to catch, and they're assembling a good team, and they're looking to as if they'll transitioned all right for the manager leaving as well,
Aye.
because he went to Australia or that, and he moved
Yeah, I did. Aye, Stephen
abroad.
McKnight. Aye.
But I think it's the assistant in that's took care of it,
Aye,
and
so
it's
Davies came in, and that's basically been the way it looks like the progress, what they've done as well when Stephen McKnight came in. He's just kind of the guys in the club are just moving into
I
the
like
position,
that.
so it's
I
seamless.
like that. They're trying to give guys an opportunity in there that are involved with the club and know the club and know what it's all about. And they're doing a lot of good work down the front, on and off the park
Aye,
as well. And they're doing things right. And I think they'll keep going from strength to strength, PG.
aye, I do agree. Final game, fourth division, only one game. Knightswood 2, St Peters 0. Knightswood, I'm not 100% sure. I want to look through the leagues. I think they themselves,
You're 100%, you know.
the Thorn and Clydebank are the only three teams left in league action to not lose a game. So Knightswood they're really flying now. I think that St Peters are starting to improve as well. Losing yesterday is what it is, but I think that they're starting to improve, pick up points. I don't see them getting promoted. I think it's too late for that, and there's too much strength in the other teams. But that's another good win for Knightswood. Kello being in cup action, Rossvale no playing, the Port being in cup action. So that gives them that wee bit of distance with a five clear of Kello, five clear of Rossvale, but Rossvale play a game there, and they're six clear of the Port on the same game, six clear of Easterhouse as well.
I think they play Roseville, play
Next week.
Knightswood next week, mate,
Yep.
which is a big game. But Knightswood are strong, mate. See their team they've got, mate. When you get like Kenny Marshall, Dan Miller, and all that playing for you, you know what I mean? The thing with as well, William Coogans and all that,
I
they've got
know.
good players, man. They're players that can be playing in the top league, no bother. Do you know what I mean? And Dan seems to be turning it on every week for them now.
Another penalty yesterday for him.
Just scoring goals, mate. Free kicks, corners, penalties. So they've got a right good team there. Mick Pender's doing brilliant there, and he's got quality players, and I can't see by them for the league, mate. I really can't, and
Nah,
that's another good win for them yesterday. So I think that, and they've got a few of the younger boys coming through as well. So it's still good that they're with all that experience that they've got in there, they're still pushing boys for their under-20s into the team as well, which is always good to see. And I think that Knightswood are my favourites, mate.
aye, barring, you know what it's like, anything can happen where a couple of players get injured, say if we're talking, the players you've mentioned, a couple of them get injured and it starts to get a bit ropey. But barring anything like that, it looks like the league's theirs, even at this early stage. And then you probably get Kello, Rossfield, Port and Easterhouse. The four of them are fighting out for the other two spots.
Mm-hmm.
Rossfield, for me, as much Josh as a mate, and I really like Rossville and I want them to do well. I think if they don't beat Knightswood next week, then that's any chance of them winning the league gone. No saying promotion's gone at all. I'm not saying that. But
Mm-hmm.
if Knightswood can beat them next week, 8 points clear with a game in hand, it's hard for Rossville to come back and catch that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Aye, it's big. Josh will obviously want to win the league. You know what I mean? Josh is a ambitious guy and a right good guy as well. And he wants to win. He'll want to win the league. But I think the most important thing is he'll be wanting to get promotion as well. Do
yeah,
you know what I mean? And that shows that's progress, and that shows he's trying to play football the right way with that team, and they've got some right good players. And I've seen quite a bit. I've seen quite a bit of videos after them as well, and the way they pop the ball about's really good to watch and good to see. So that'll actually be a good game of football next week. See that when they play Knightswood, because
I
it's
know.
probably two teams that want to get the ball down and pass it, and it should be a right good spectacle. So if people get down to that and watch that in Division 4, that should be a good entertaining game. But I think that if Knightswood to win that next week, then I think that starts to increase that gap, and they'll be very difficult to catch unless the wheels totally come off them, which I can't see happening because they've got boys in that dressing room that have won things previously. They know how to get out of the line. They know how to win games of football and win trophies. Then that's massive for them in there, especially if they've got some young boys as well, having these older types that know the script in there is massive.
Aye, I agree. We'll finish up there, mate. Next week, big game fees. All the best in it. But mate, it's been good having you back on.
Yeah, it's good to be back. You not finished that paneling yet?
Oh, mate, don't honestly. Don't. We had the media wall all plastered today. The paneling's getting painted some point during the week. The telly's getting put up on the wall. New flooring done.
Telling you, mate.
Mate, honestly, it's
This podcast game must be paying out good
well,
dough now that I've
it's
left
now that I
you.
donate half the money.
Exactly, mate.
I can start spending some of it.
Exactly. You're getting all that money, man. You're rolling in it now, boy.
I
Doing
know,
paneling now.
loaded. Right, mate.
Oh,
Thank you very much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure.
listen,
We'll do this again.
any time, my man, any time.
Right, everybody. Thank you very much for
See you
watching.
later.
And I'll let Dak sign off with whatever Dak wants to sign off with.
See what I knew earlier. I'd had 6 cans of Strongbow next to me, so I would have been I did told the West of Scotland right up. Nice and professional, mate. Nice and professional, isn't it?
Right. Well, everybody, thanks for watching and get out and watch your local team next week. Cheers. Take care.
Cheers.